Okay, dear Golden Rotarians, so before we go after assembly, we'll do a quick fellowship as is normal. So at 8:10, we are starting our fellowship, the very brief one. Let me first and foremost get our Twitter in place, and there's somebody that has a very, very professional style of talking. I will call on Rotarian Titi Layomi Paparazzi to give the type of votes that that you can only find in an encyclopedia. Thank you very much. So let's have my IPP decorate our Twitter for today.
I think when the house is most order,
yes, we'll recite the Rotary Grace. Let's recite the Rotary Grace, and then we can now decorate our Twitter. Oh Lord, I'm giver of so thank you very much. So I was looking forward so much to our Twitter to be decorated. Now we can go ahead.
Hello, Twitter. Thank you, my United President, for the rare privilege to decorate our Twitter for today with the person of Rotarian Titi Layomi Paparazzi. And please ensure that you greet. I don't know why you have so many colors of buttons. You know, are they different things? But I charge you to greet everyone, starting with the president, then you greet me as well.
Thank you very much. I say very good morning to all our members that are online. I can see the Dr. Wo, I can see.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Our prince is in the house.
My presidents, I hail everyone, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I can see the treasurer, our CBN is virtual. Good morning. I can also see.
My president, good morning, sir.
Good morning. I can also see Adetola, Ola. Good morning, Adetola.
Good morning, my president.
Good to see you this beautiful morning. I can see Olagoke Fadimeyi. It's so lovely to see Olagoke online as well. You're all very, very welcome. As
Good
I
morning,
thank-
sir. Good
As
morning.
I thank others that joined, I will acknowledge their presence. So let us have the object of Rotary. And let the object of Rotary be given to us by no other person than the best network in the whole of not only Nigeria, but Africa and the whole world in itself. Object of Rotary for Rotarians Assembly. Thank you very much.
Good morning, my United President, fellow Rotarians, and I'm happy to be back home. Morning, everyone. Object of Rotary. The object of Rotary is to encourage and foster the ideal of service as a basis of worthy enterprise, and in particular, to encourage and foster. First, development of acquaintances as an opportunity for service. Second, high ethical standards in business and profession. The recognition of the worthiness of all useful occupations and the dignifying of each Rotarian's occupation as an opportunity to serve society. The third, the application of the ideal of service in each Rotarian's personal, business, and community life. The fourth, the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through a world fellowship of business and professional persons united in the ideal of service. Mission statement. The mission of Rotary International. Thank you, I was not going on first. Thank you, man.
Thank you very much. You can see that when the spirit catches to just continue. Next, let's have the public test. We have to remind ourselves of the public test. And I would ask no other person than our fresh-looking Rotarian Kenny Showme. Freshly dolled up.
Good morning, my president, fellow Rotarians. Before we test of the please, repeat, say or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for delivering that in a very soft voice. A soft and gentle voice. I have to repeat to myself not to be rocked to sleep. So just to be able to keep the order in the house, I will call on, we'll appoint an SA, even though today is General Assembly, but at least to make sure that there's orderliness, we'll appoint an SA And for that purpose, we appoint someone who knows who is our substantive one who can make sure that there is peace and decorum in the house. So I'm caught in between two ladies, but there's something about when somebody's hair is very high, you cannot help but to notice. So I will call on Rotary Aide Dixon as our SA. Please come forward to be decorated. And to decorate her, I would like to invite a very, very notable member of our club, the former vice president of our club, who has helped us to achieve so many things, can help us achieve this morning a proper decoration of our heads. People morning, sir.
By the president, by immediate past president, fellow Rotarians, that all know decoration was a Rotarian. We give it for the judge as our sergeant announced for this morning. Such is capable, such is confident, even though it's a business meeting, but some people might just want to show that I have so much money. So if you have some, but I mean, we have to ensure them and ensure the president get the attention of everybody that is here, so that we all have a meaningful delegation that is free of chaos. So I expect you and I charge you, please definitely represent my president, so that everything will go on well. And those who want to show that they have money and try to be ready now. It's fair.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't know what kind of Rotary fellowship you can have without singing at least just one song. I don't know. It don't feel like a fellowship. So I'm going to keep deep and request a very, very strong member of our club to do us the honors of singing, of giving us a very, very good song to sing. On that note, I invite my one and only Rotarian Amen, who actually is having a special day today. I won't let the cat out of the bag yet. But just suffice to let you know that that is the sun is shining beautifully today for a particular purpose.
Good morning, my United Board presidents and fellow Rotarians. I will be taking the song, it's a small word. I'm going to lala the song. Right, la 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 So I did. In the small world, I to know. In the small world, I to know. It is a small world, I to know. The Lord, our Lord, is the one. The who is the word of God. Yes, so much that we share, and it's time here away. Because one of the it's a small world, it's a small world, our world. In the small world, our world. It's a small world, after all, it's a small, very small world. There is just one look and a golden sun and a smile in friendship to everyone. To the mountain, I know, shall the one is a small world. To small, it's small world. A small world, after all. Ayé tó fẹ́lẹ́. It's a small world. It's a small, very small. I am so all that one. It's a love, it's a love, it's a love. Just the fool is a small world. That small world, I run. It's a small world, I run. It's a small world, I run. It's a very small world. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's truly a small world and a political world that we live in. That song brings a lot of lovely memories. A good time for us to delve in straight into the business of the day, which is our club assembly. So we will just start off immediately. The reading and adoption of the agenda. So we all have the agenda in front of us.
Then we will look for partnership. Who is going to partner with them?
Do we have any objections to the agenda? No objections? Somebody move to. Okay, matters. Okay, thank you for that. On that amendment, somebody move to adopt this agenda. Thank you, Rotary Association. Who seconds that? Thank you very much. All right. So move straight to the reading and adoption of the last minutes. Page 1, any amendments? Page 2. Any amendments page 2? Page 3. Any amendments on the last page? Okay, can someone move for the adoption of these minutes? Someone who was at the meeting. Thank you. Okay. An amendments?
No, just a comment before the amendment. Good morning, my president, council member, members of the actual. Sorry, I don't know what the policy is on this kind of thing. I think this will have been circularized to members ahead. Because my president is too fast this morning. Some of us are slow readers. But if it has been made amendment, maybe available to us, maybe a day before the meeting, we will have find time to digest and read. So we'll be able to contribute meaningfully to the minutes.
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Stephen Ojo. The list actually posted, but it was posted to the board also. I want to report the secretary, you have to take it to the strictly report. Based on the case file. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You were present on the board platform for not on 50 votes. Can I give it a few more minutes for us to go through more diligently? Okay. Another 5 minutes, please. One more minute. So I think it's a good time for us to move forward now. At least we are sure we have a very good idea of what is in the minutes. So can someone move for the adoption? Rotarian Susan. Thank you. Noted. corrected.
Council Secretary, Yalage, Council Secretary.
Well, Purple, United, Unite for Good, and some looking president, and our own IPP. My DJ and big series, all the party of in the house. I, Rotarian Veronica Susan Sijola, hereby move for the adoption of this meeting at captured. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was very well done. We need someone to second it. Who will second that movement?
Secondly, I was not in which I cast.
Yes, you can second it. Yes.
My event for good president. Who is practicable president for that matter? IPP, Council of Past President, and most especially my incoming team. Highly recognized. I, Patan, Ola, thereby second, the motion moved by Rotarian Past President Veronica Susan. This is your man. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That movement is there for the ceremony and so. Thank you very much. So let's go straight into matters arising from the minutes. Proposal of PND nominating committee. The criteria and marking scheme used for nomination was observed that was not transparent enough to all members. Assign marks to the president, especially when it comes to specific matters.
We are not qualified. We will be a member of this.
Hello, we have one house, please, so now move through this very, very quickly. Hello? Okay, so who has something to say on this first point? Okay. Yes, Triple
My yourself president, so I was not at this meeting, but I think the proposal, the person that proposed this particular assignment here, to be able to come clearer, because it's not understood. You have to tell us what area is schools of work. Those area of work can take care of. Thank you.
Anita is not here, from secretary allowed me. So can show. Okay, Ajani, what do you want? Huh?
President,
Right.
I was asked to talk, but I think the question is going to be directed to the leading past president of this club. And I will not stop me from talking, but I think the question is going to be directed to, because that's the IPP was the one that presided at that meeting, and the secretary wrote this. Okay. Before I respond to this, I want to say to this house today that members of this club or the board members of this club are representing the whole members of this club. At any point in time when we have board meeting or we have assembly, there are vital information that are written or documented, that it should be not carried president on a strictly Rotary platform.
so that any members who were not at that meeting who have information. On the issue of proposal and coordinating committee, that the criteria and market scheme for nomination is not transparent. What prompted that is, sir? In our bylaw, we have like 2-3 criterias for presidency, which states that anyone who is to assume that office must have been a member of this club for at least 3 years. In addition to that, that person must have served some offices. In addition, again, the person must have paid his or her annual due on or before, at least September 30th or so, must have paid his or her annual due. The other criteria were not in the bylaw. And there's an aspect again that I did make mention of that has to do with qualification. That somebody with anything, somebody with PhD, somebody with PhD, qualification. What are the committee? Because the market scheme of education is what education, the market scheme of education is it categorized as one, or there is an element of vision depending on the grade that person has, that it is not in the bylaw, that every member needs to know the criteria used by the electoral committee for election procedure, so that anybody who will be obtaining the form of presidency will know that am I actually qualified for this post or am not qualified by considering the criteria. And I said in that meeting that the criteria is not explicit enough in our bylaw. So that was what prompted us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, I think if there are proposals of what should be included or amended, I think those proposals can be written and sent to the president, so that you can then form an appropriate. Oh, AAA, okay.
Now, President, sorry, I'm coming up.
This morning. Issue of criteria for market scheme. We know that I believe it was at that meeting, decided if anyone had it. We saw the market scheme, I think not supposed to have given them the right answer because if you are NT, you are BSc, you have the master, it's not the same match. It's not the same. If you are NT, if you are BSc, those people you have marks for them. It's not a secret song. So that is one. I want to remind you. Sorry. It's not the same. It's not the same. If you are BSc holder, am I correct? Correct. It's not the same. Correct. It's not the same. Hello. It's 1 minute. 1 minute. It's not the same. It's not the same. So it's different. If you're going to have master, not if you have a clean holder, it's clean clear. But I want to tell us in this meeting, that what needs this law to be very vibrant is because we continue to follow the bylaw and position of this law. We uphold it. Otherwise, we will have a problem. Then I want us to continue that manner. How do I mean? You cannot come to a meeting of the assembly, then you are making a proposal. It's wrong. If you want to have anything to propose like you do now, you cannot propose anything today. That's why it's clearly stated in the bylaw. If that's why the secretary will post it, that we are going to have a assembly in 10 days. Whoever has something to propose, people have done that, and sent to notice for every member to have seen it. At this meeting should be considered. The situation whereby we come here to know it's wrong. Don't let us be against our constitutional bylaw.
Anybody want to bring proposal at this meeting, supposed to have sent whatever you want to propose to the strictly road for all members to see. At this meeting, you decide, it's not when you come here this morning, I want to make a proposal. It's not in line with our bylaw. Thank you.
By Rotarian President. I just want to quickly chip in on this matter, my PhD. The proposal was made initially at a board meeting. This particular proposal is not necessarily a new proposal. And it was agreed that it will be discussed and addressed in this club assembly. So if you look at the agenda, you'll see it's the second item on the agenda. The second, to clarify the proposal during that meeting was that, yes, the criteria exist, but it's not made known within our bylaw. It is only made known to the Council of Past Presidents and the points. So the proposal was that criteria that we already have for it to be made available to everyone, which is why it's on the agenda today. So that clarification was made on that day. Thank you.
Good morning. Yes, I do not know anywhere where you share the marking scheme with students. I really do not know. So the truth about it is, for council nominating members that will be doing the screening, they have full understanding of the marking scheme. Because we will normally have a meeting and we will come to agreement on each element on that marking scheme before we proceed. And so it is not for our consumption. It is for the consumption of nominating council members. So I really do not understand why this should become a public discussion. As much as possible, we have been transparent enough that you will understand how we arrived at all of this. But if we want the nitty-gritty, that necessarily must not be shared by, the general. I think.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, my
For what you are saying, I understand that no matter how much information we put in the bylaw, it cannot contain everything. That's the point. So if the point, if the objective is that the bylaw should contain everything that will be used, that objective cannot be very. Okay.
My president. Something right. Over the years, we are transparent in our election process. I can see that. I think they look at the candidates and see, okay, what we favor this candidate, they put the criteria on. I'm not talking about the president nominate designate or whatever, but with some series of election process. I think I've witnessed 3 or 4 years election in this club.
Now the criteria is skewed towards.
Yes, my IBP, don't shake your head. I know what I'm saying. I remember
if the head is so, you can check the head if you want to.
that's why.
Especially point of correction.
Yeah.
You can shake his head however you want.
Okay.
Shake your head and vote.
Okay.
Thank you.
But I'm looking at it, okay. Once you have your own candidate. Yeah, sorry, I'm not trying to. It's my personal person. So leave us alone. We know we understand each other. So let us be transparent enough so that members will know, okay, the electoral committee are very transparent.
Do you agree with the point that no matter how much information you find out,
yes,
it cannot contain all the details.
But we keep on airing it every year, different criteria every year.
Right.
To suit a particular candidate. That's the norm.
So that what
yes.
is like a basic.
Yeah, let us have the basic.
More information.
Exactly. Yeah. So that.
Yeah. Please, we need to move quickly on this, there's so many other things.
My President, I want to answer, I want to ask a question. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what today, Rotary is a structural organization. Where what we are going to do there is in the enemy and the final. In Rotary, standard. Educational qualification is not a gap for what to assume that office of presidency. In Rotary, whether you are educated or not educated, you can be a Rotarian. And the moment you are a Rotarian, if you have the quality of assuming the office of presidency, you should be able to assume that office. That difference in mark is what I'm trying to
Okay, excuse me. Sorry, thank you.
Rotarian President, fellow Rotarians.
On house.
Rotarian President, Rotarian Danny, let's have one out. Fellow Rotarians, I am looking at how we would deliver this issue or spend too long a time. So I think we should try to clarify certain things. The first thing is that this club should be committed to ensuring that we are transparent now than ever before. And the reason why it should be so is because we are that more in number. So the more we are, the more people who have divergent opinion, who are suspicious of one or the other, the more we will have in our midst. So we will use process to take care of that, so that we don't have to be thinking that something is happening or another thing is not happening. The point that you first and foremost is the more is that the nominating panels in the past have organized themselves or acted in a way that makes the procedure or the marking scheme skewed toward. I'm glad that Musari said he has witnessed like 3 of those processes. That's only 3. And we said in past elections, 3 will not represent something when it's necessary. So that is not so. Beyond that, I think what PhD Olabi said the other time may be a little misleading, in the sense that he said we have always sat to agree on the criteria on the marking scheme before the final interviews candidate. That's not exactly what happens. On the marking scheme is the same thing that he will score under attendance of Rotary conferences, that he will score even though they came to the panel different years. Those things are already well stated. The only time that the panel they have to consult themselves and say, what do we do in this instance, is where on very rare occasions certain things come up, that because rules can never be exactly perfect. You understand? And that is on very rare occasions. So the marking scheme is a marking scheme. It's the same thing that different people have passed through before they emerge. That is the fact. Members of the council are here. Most of us have been on the panel. Almost all of us that are here have been on the panel, either as chair or member. So we need to disabuse our mind when it comes to this issue. Now, the thing I now consider as very important that we may have to decide here, going by the fact that PhD Olabi has also said very correctly, and everybody here will agree, that we cannot afford to put everything concerning the process in the bylaws. The bylaws has adequately alluded to what the criteria is. What should you be or have done for you to be able to aspire to become president? But
what you will score under this, score under that, all of those ones, we can't, they are not bylaws issues. So, Ajani, that is not what we are saying. Now, is it now desirable that we make the marking scheme, which is what each person will score under each heading, open and transparent to members, especially those who are approaching the nomination panel? For me, the answer is a perfect yes. And it's for the following reason. In this club, we always pride ourselves by saying that members of this club who want to be president have opportunity to, in the first place, to take themselves to check whether they have high chances or not. Such that if Mr. A sees that he is not going to score well in a particular, under a particular parameter, he works harder and we have to wait until when he thinks that he's set. So that's the advantage that we will have in making that available. But let's consider doing that to those who are coming to face the panel. Finally, that is what they do in the district. Anytime that candidates are coming, they will send the marking scheme to you so that you will know what you are likely to score under each heading. I don't think we are going to lose anything if we do that. But like Pedro and others have said, we don't have to make that a public document. But it will do us a lot of good if we can agree at this meeting that candidates should know what they will score and they should be able to score themselves before approaching the panel. It helps the panel to be able to proceed with the mindset that candidates are sure that there is no bias. It helps the candidate to prepare themselves adequately so that in some cases, those who do not win or emerge will even know why they did not emerge. Because if me and I go to face the panel, and by the time we are out, we can even compare notes without even discussing. I will know where he has an edge and where I didn't have. And that helps all of us who are not even on the panel, who are not even candidates, to know and be sure that the whole thing was transparent. So that is just my own way of summarizing it.
Thank you very much, my PGM. I think this matter has been well dealt with.
What is the resolution now? Maybe the resolution of the.
So, from what the PGM has said, it's that it's all that's in the bylaw is adequate. Further information that is required is shared with the candidates. Will be shared with the candidates. That is the long and short of what they have said. I think that is fair. I think that is fair. Okay. Let's move on. Okay, we need to agree on it. Okay. We should agree by show of hands. So those who agree with that conclusion I just summarized. That was I just said it now. It is already to see. Hello. Are we going to be able to move forward on this?
My question is that let us listen to matter we are discussing. A lot of money around. If you don't listen to this other part, I think president have stated that we have agreed. Kind of what don't listen. Let me tell all of you, it's a learning process. This is what we are doing now. So listen, don't discuss bandwidth. Thank you.
Thank you.
we can discuss that.
So I think qualification criteria, is very different from, the evaluation, the actual evaluation, and I think we need to separate this. So, qualification criteria, you need to even be able to determine whether or not you qualify for the office in question. And you can assess yourself and determine whether or not you even qualify. And I think that qualification criteria should transfer. However, in terms of maybe the scores, maybe the weighting, maybe whatever it is then left to the group that has responsibility for the selection. That doesn't have to be transparent, but even at the point where, in a situation where it has to be presented, for the sake of transparency and integrity, you should be presenting and say, you know what, these people came, this is how they were evaluated, and everybody already knew what they were evaluated on. And this is how the weighting was done and the scoring was done. And I think it's critical to do the separation to say qualification criteria is one thing. We all know what you need to have done to even qualify to apply. That's one. And you also recognize that these are the same things on which they're going to evaluate you on. How the actual evaluation is going to be done or how the weighting is done is left to the group and be kept. But in the instance where it has to be presented, and I want to state this specifically because if we recall, we had a challenge with the lack of transparency that was demonstrated on the district level. And we have had that challenge for whatever number of years, and that was what the bane of discussion was at that time. And I don't think we should have done this thing.
Thank you very much. So from today, let me be sure that we're all on the same page with what has just been said. Now, what I'm hearing is that we need to be able to know that these are the 10 items that will be that are age, the food you like. Those are the 10 criteria. Now, the scoring may not be shared, but at least you know that these are the items. So you can look at it and say, I think I have the best type of food, and so on and so forth. Is that what I'm hearing? What I'm hearing, is that right? Is that right?
Okay, thank you. I think the DGN has done just because of our bylaw is quite clear on the basic criteria that is needed to become the president of the club. I think the information in our bylaw are basic, they are very okay. What the DGN has said is also very important that whosoever is going to fill that panel should have the details of what he or she is going to do. Yes. So what I want to do now is that we don't need to move a motion. Whosoever is taking this panel should be sent the market scheme before he or she goes to the panel. Important that all candidates going to pay that panel.
Okay, why didn't you make a comment on that? Because I was trying to summarize where we are, and you don't let you get the motion. Okay, to move on.
You have said is correct. I just want us to move on from there. Like I said, the criteria in the bylaw are very basic and clear. I think
No, wait, that's not, you see, you are missing the point. I think he says that the other categories that are being used to measure or assess, that there are some other categories that are not mentioned in the bylaw. That all the categories should be stated in the bylaw. If there are 10 categories, state them.
we've agreed earlier that it's not all the information that should be, I mean, we can't
to find out my law.
Don't use the word information, because information is a big word.
Yes.
There's
President.
there's category, then there's detail of how it should be scored. But for information.
My president.
So I'm separating it. I'm separating category from the details of how it should be scored. I'm saying he's asking for just the category to know.
Okay, my
You
president.
get my point?
About education qualification, honestly, I'm not too sure if we should add a bylaw.
Hello,
Yes.
I'm just
So-
as an example, that if that is one of the categories, that it should be mentioned.
We should not- My position is this, let me make my position. So you can agree or disagree. The information we have on our bylaw as of today, the criteria to come into
It's adequate.
they are okay. They are
Okay.
basic.
I get it.
Other information should be in massive.
I agree with you. I understand your point. Okay, does anybody else? All right,
So my president, just permit me to read what is exactly in the bylaw, so that we are clear on what is in the bylaw. It says, to qualify to contest for the position of president, section 1, subsection F. To qualify to contest for the position of the president, a candidate must have been a member of the club for at least 3 years and must have served as a club officer or chair of a full-fledged committee other than a subcommittee for 2 full years. That's what's in the bylaw. The matter on the ground is the other criteria that the nominating committee uses. So we just need to make a resolution or move a motion as proposed that whether that should be released to those that are interested at the point of them being interested and giving to them, so that we can move on from this point, President.
so. You have asked that we should make. So can we just vote that the way it has been stated in the bylaw is okay? Those who agree. That's what I'm saying.
I'm still very pained that we are spending this kind of time on this matter. Let's make it a yes or no answer. Do we all agree that the way we have discussed the criteria for eligibility to be president in this law, in the bylaw, is okay? The answer is yes. Now, what we are if 5 people or 6 are going to approach the panel after having observed the form.
I just people esteem, because you said the requirement
Yeah.
is it sufficient?
I would say it's what I'm feeling with before you and spoke.
Not sufficient.
No, it is, sir. Is that we have said, did we say that or no?
Yeah.
Or- There's no room for confusion in this matter. What we now want to deal with is that if 5 or 6 or 10 people are approaching the panel tomorrow, let's say it's considered tomorrow, and we are going there, and the candidate, I should receive, are we together? I should receive a document from the panel that says, under educational qualification, candidates who have PhD will score 5. The one who has BSc, we score 3. Under Rotary International Convention attendance, candidate who attended 6 conventions, we score 6. The ones who attended 3, we score 3. What is the problem with that? And that is what people have said, you know, when we leave that to the nomination panel, we give the impression that the panel can change that from one exercise to another one. And we don't gain anything from doing that. So let's take the resolution to simply state that future appearances before the panel should take that shape. See the parking scheme. It's simply scheme. It's not the bank I just talk about anything. The market, one word that panel will call me under convention because I've attended 6. And that marking scheme says I will score 6 being transparent.
Excuse me, does anybody have anything contrary to what the teacher had just said? Can you please make it very quick?
So thank you very much. I really do not want to take us back. But
Continue.
okay, because I'm still also what medication and everything, it is not as explicit. We're not talking about the weighted averages before we remember that those specific like the things that every person number 2, blah blah blah. Things should be specifically detailed. So markets, and I say that it's not enough to be transparent.
I agree with you, and can plan that, okay, so I must have attended the international convention and can start planning. What's that? So I must be chairman of a major committee start planning to conduct any kind of committee. That way, members are making so that resolution, so do we agree we are going to move? So the resolution now is those who want those items to be listed like that in the bylaw to raise their hands up.
With the mark. With the marks.
I didn't say marks. I made it very clear. I didn't say marks.
Sorry, my president.
No, excuse me. Let me ask the labor I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Before you now say whether we should amend the resolution that I'm.
Okay.
So the resolution I'm going to ask us to vote on is, hello, Dixon. So the resolution that I'm going to ask is for us to agree for those headings to be listed in the bylaw, or it should be left in its adequate way it is. Do you get the question? Do you get the resolution? So anybody's comments now should be an amendment of the resolution I've just proposed. Do you get my point? Your comment now should be how you want to amend what I just proposed now.
My president,
Please permit me to stand on the executive protocol. I mean, from what I can gather from this discussion is one, as you have said, the bylaw is being reviewed every 3 years. And right now, you cannot go to the bylaw and start reviewing that, okay, we have to do this. So, I mean, before review, you can actually make an executive order that, okay, simply before we review the bylaw, this is what and this is what we're going to quote it. Most particularly what our DGN, I'm sorry, our DGN, has brought up for has actually brought out for us, which is want to make the market scheme, you know, to make the people that want to go for, to make, I mean, let them be aware of what of their grade and how it is being graded, so that by the time you are seeing it, before even, I mean, appearing at the front of the committee, you already know what you are scoring, you already know, you know, your standard and all like that. So, I mean, in view of that, I'm going to pass, with due respect, my president, I'm going to move a motion. Now that, do we all agree with what our DGN has put on the table for us or not? Thank you.
It's a No, it's a critical issue, my president. It's a critical issue. Let us address it.
Okay, sir.
I raised my hand.
I know, I'm able to tell you. It's a spend of all this. I want to keep myself. Spend of all this. You should have moved your motion directly, not referring to DGN. You have moved your motion directly, not referring to DGN. That's the motion. The DGN did not make any motion. They only give us details, how it is to be. But like if I've listened to the president very well, he has said that clearly. I don't know why we are.
Let's say this, hello.
Yeah. That's the problem. He take us back. Thank you.
Sorry, my president. Sorry for bringing us back. I'm still on the issue of this marking whatever. If we don't assign mark and at a particular point of which means every year we keep on changing the criteria. We keep on changing the criteria. So let it be known. And I'm still on my point that at a particular year, the committee or whatever can look at those people involved and choose to favor a particular candidate. I'm still on that part. If we don't assign mark, which means every year we'll be changing the criteria. That's the meaning. Election is not run that way.
Sorry. No noise, please. No noise. One house.
I'm raising my hand also. Anyway, what I want to say is this: we are going to exam of solution question 20 marks. This is 40 marks. That's 40 marks. If you have the criteria in design law, notice stop-ups. As soon as the electoral committee is elected, let this thing be on our scrutiny platform. If you have attended the international convention, 20 marks. If you have sat in the club for 3 committee, 20 marks. If you have this, you have that, 20 marks, 10 marks. So everybody will know. Before I say I want to become president, I will first rate myself. Am I qualified for this? If I know that I'm not really qualified, maybe out of 10, I know that I have not done more out of this 10. And I will look and I say, okay, I've seen the Rotary Babatune want to go, Rotary want to go. And I know that Baba, this one has been to international convention, he has done this, he has done that. And I will say, okay, it's like this thing, I'm not qualified for it, so let me say that. Even at the end of it, if you don't have the committee, Because most time we all grumble, okay, come, this person does not win, that person does not win. We will know, even if somebody comes to us and say, don't let the put me, they didn't raise me well, we will look at it together. You do this. It's not enough for you to go to international convention, the section, or you don't travel out. It's not all that. Okay, like, the reason why you make pass here, it's not a section, or you don't travel, you collect visa and travel. It's another thing. So let's know, let it see, a road trip, 4 ways there. Let everything be transparent. If I want to go, this is what I'm going for. Before anything, and that's all. I don't know what we're getting into, so I dare tell you to go to side. All I dare is all I need. It should be transparent from now on. It should be on our stupid road platform before election, before the form. Want to be the representative of the road platform.
Okay. So that motion is clear that before election, when the electoral committee is ruling out the requirement, it should also include the marking scheme.
Exactly.
That is the motion.
That's the motion.
Who seconds the motion? Rotary Aggressive. You recorded it. Okay, so that motion. Oh, you are moving properly. Yes.
I told them that, no, that's not the right thing.
Oh, yeah. Which one actually has done her part. Oh, yeah, put it to her to do her own part.
Thank you. I second the motion raised by Reverend Ajay that everything should be displayed transparently in line with looking forward on the strictly Rotary platforms with all the details of criteria, marking scheme to encourage transparency. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So all those who vote in favor of that.
Wait observation. Government going to vote as counter motion. Nobody has raised any counter motion, so we can't go into any vote. If there's no counter motion, that observation that seconded as vote. Thank you.
Okay, so 60 seconds, it has good. All right. So is there any counter motion? No counter motion. Okay, let's move forward. Number 2, members' demands. It was hello. It was suggested that there should be provision for the family of any of our members that pass. To make provision for the loss of any of our members. I think this is a welfare matter, and I think welfare generally makes provision for various things. So I think they should also include it as part of the fleet. I don't think this is something that we need to waste time on. Definitely, we need to make provision for as many things that can be of importance, to the welfare of our members, including that.
Are you a member of the speaker?
Give rights. Yes. I'm agreeing that it's something that we should just include as one of the things welfare make provision for.
I agree. Madam President, on this aspect of member demands, in this law, witness what that happened this year is the third one. We pay for lockdowns in our midst.
The first one was happened during the ISM. Happened during available year, where we went to Europe with PhD available. And on that day, after the burial, on 200,000, you can remember. And ever since then, the family never bothered knowing anything about the family. During Opera Favor Madus email, probably of such too, that live around Akuti or so. I think we gave the check of about 3 or 500,000 or so. And ever since then, we don't ask about the welfare of the public. Does it mean that when a member is that means the person is gone? Plus, no problem that idea that we should, every president that is assuming office should make it a value for at least 2 years and to always check on. So that solution there. Thank you.
That's a big thing, right? I mean, it's a big thing. So we can note that that is an amendment. Thank you. Let's move forward. Number 3, club project. The project template for every year and template should follow accordingly. Club project. What does this mean? Number 3, club. Okay, the president was pointing that there's always a template for every project here. Okay, so you can move on to annual view. Let's move on to annual view. So propose that all members pay a sum of 250,000, including a week. One members pay a sum of 100,000. I think that's already into. Let's move on. The clubhouse. The clubhouse, because the portion and donations and investments are still on, we have 7 million naira total in there, 3 million already redeemed. So they're asking that the mighty house should be approached with all seriousness as the yeah. So yeah, so the clubhouse, but maybe there's somebody in the back committee that will be able to talk about it when we go into the agenda for today. So I'm hearing too much noises. Just
I don't think to understand what are we treating matters?
Yes,
rising?
I'm just finished that now.
If we are dealing with matters arising
Right
from, then there should be some form of discussion. For those that do not require discussion, just proceed.
That's what I just did.
And then finish your time.
So let's move on to
Clubhouse, for example.
Yes.
Okay, the comment could be that we should endeavor to take the issue quite seriously. I will proceed.
I already said that if there's a member of the committee here that has more information for we will do with it, it's but it's the business of the game. And if there's no member of the committee, then we have to stop it. So I'm hearing voices, so and it's loud. So let's move on to business of the day. Review of service projects. Yes, please.
Because here it stated that we have 3 million redeemed in of that.
That's why I said that if there's a member of the committee here, when we get to clubhouse, which is under number 5, we would have to do with it. It's under number 5 for the business.
All right.
But if there's no step it down to when that can talk about. So review of service projects. My Reverend President, my Reverend Head of Prayer. For this Rotary year, 25-26 year, this time they was started with a very good I will be the first the meeting of the year. This is the so the letter maternal case for the children. If I call general hospital, if I call. So they never back into the children. And also during the day visits with this thing, we have some logistics problem during that particular one. Also, within the past 2 months, we had the microfinance projects which was headed by Rotary now. So at the next we did well. Our bill was 5 million and we were able to dispense it well. For the month of the month we are now, which is membership month. The first meeting we had by PDD, Bola, Oye, Made, also to us about Oye Bade, yeah, also to us about membership and membership recruitment. We're going to have another section, but because of the assembly to do, we've been able to put it off. For the upcoming month, which is the month of September, which is interesting month. Yeah, we have some plans in place which we are yet to adopt with process. I will pass it to the board for approval before we announce it. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So I'm sure you will recall we tried to do a calendar of checks for the whole year. We did a calendar with each month titled according to the Rotary theme for the month. And we tried to make sure that the projects that we come up with for each of those months, highlights or celebrates that thing, that Rotary thing for the month. That was the concept that I wanted us to use for the whole year. So that whatever projects we want to do, we can plan them ahead and slot them in under the month that has a relevant thing, so that it's helps us to build two birds with a stone, as it were, to do a project and as well to be able to also celebrate the Rotary theme for that month. I also requested for members who have, because I'm aware that individually, the fact that we are able to parents is because individually there are things that we would like to be able to do or that we are already doing for humanity. I'm hearing people's voices. Mr. Lewis. So, I want to use somebody to implore members to still come up with projects. We already have a number of projects that we have taken that I want to do. But of course, we can do more than that in collaboration with
one now.
We can do more than that in conjunction with different ways, and then we can be innovative about it. So please, I am still expecting this one project idea from every member. It might be a project idea that you probably would have wanted to do by yourself. You can bring it up to the club and we can do it together in partnership with the club. Or it might be something that you've seen other people do that you felt makes sense. So that we can, if we don't do it now, we can still plan for it to be something that we will do in the near future. I will leave that to that. Yeah. Any comments on that?
My Rotarian president, fellow Rotarians, my expectation concerning this topic, review of service projects, will be particularly geared towards our signature project. We have programs on a regular basis, but when we say review of projects, we are particularly interested in our signature project. I think the signature project for this year is ICT. So what is the status of that ICT in terms of commencement, progress, and whatever may be hindrance? I think that's what I would expect for us to see. As for programs, lectures, presentations, all that, that's fine. That's what I wish to say.
As regards the donation of land from ICT, solar powered ICT home at Ipako, Ijayi, Edina district 4 and Yedo 2. We had a meeting some time ago and we're waiting for the school to resume, really give us a real plan, I want to talk about it. The congregation now asked to wait till the end of this next month when the school resumes. Already we have a space on the first floor, but we need more detail because I want to give out information and come back again. We requested that we don't want the last floor because of the roofing system and the first floor because security as well. So we don't ask them to give us the first floor where the third floor, security wise is okay. All those your equipment, the AC, it was secure that way. So I want you to resume before we go ahead with other plans.
Thank you, Rotarian President, fellow Rotarians. The first thing that comes to mind is that I was surprised that the Vice President who chairs service project mentioned membership talk when he was speaking. This is not just Rotary Club of Holy Building. This is a club organized under Rotary International, where everything has been structured even before we joined Rotary. What PDG Bola Oyedegbare came to do will not in any way come under the service project tiers before. For instance, Rotarian President, if your agenda has stated that you will take reports from committees, then the vice chair from service project, vice president from service project chair will have to stand like he has done, and other people who are chairing other committees will also have their time. They will not speak on behalf of the membership committee. So there are things because like AG Olabi said, projects and there are programs. They will always be expressly stated as different. This is not one person's thing, it's about process and procedure. Now, what that means then is that in order for you will decide, my president, to use whichever side that you think will work for you better. You can either do it in such a way that you report generally on the things that have happened since you took office. It will be like a scorecard. Under that, you speak about membership, about youth, about everything by yourself. Or you give time to your committee chairs to all say it one after the other. But service project will not report for membership. Now, apart from that, this looks to me like the first time in the history of this law that we will be calling for project ideas when we are already in the year. I'm calling my president. My president, please have an open mind and just let us clarify minds. I should. So, we are talking about service project. It's still his own report that we are commenting on. I get what I'm saying. Fellow Rotarians, all of us, if God says alive, we will all be present
1 year, except for those who are not interested. It's just for 1 year before you go, it goes round. Now, the first thing to note is that the president who is incoming plans his year. Everyone in the club supports the president to plan his year. And how does that happen? He has done it. He asked for ideas. We gave those ideas. Those ideas were put together in a kind of blueprint. We adopted the blueprint the way we have always done. Now, if, for instance, he has so much money that is still left that we want to spend on projects, he will, behind the scene, make those requests. It will not be something that will go for a minute. It gives an impression that we are not following the right process. He will, behind the scene, go and and of course, one thing that is also very important is that you will have a club assembly approve those variations. Are you getting it, sir? It's not between you and your board. The club projects and programs are a document owned by every one of us. So that is the process. You are free to continue to ask for ideas, but it will not be a public thing in a meeting like this that will go into our minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So let's move on to financials, annual views, essay, and second one.
We talk about, or much more about transparency and integrity, other core values of Rotary. We have done about 2 projects or 3, and I'll vividly tell this house that me, as a member of the project committee, the cost implication, the income or the expenses incurred on those projects are not on the project platform. And the money we use, our resource for the money, to bring the work from outside the club is going to be on that project platform, and also to be transferred to the platform, so that every members will know the cost implication of every project, incoming of what I'm going to carry out such projects. That may be a reference material for some person to ask what he or she is likely to spend. At this level of us, I wouldn't expect us to be carrying out this without planning along and also.
Thank you very much. So that will be done. So we can move on to financials. Is this on that's also? Oh yeah.
The Rotarian president, my vision, fellow voting Rotarian. I think what we are doing here today is for the betterment of the club. Whatever we say here is not because we want to bring our president down. What we are doing here is to help our president in this way to succeed. If you succeed, our club succeed, all of us will be happy. So my president, what we are going to do today is something that all of us will have open hand. Nobody is attacking the president. Nobody is trying to bring the president down. Then having said that, that particular issue of project, we are asking for project ideas. You know, in this club, we have history of projects that we're supposed to do that we never executed. So my own opinion is going to be that going forward, I think we should have a committee that will consider projects. We will consider projects, we have a bank, like a project bank. In case the president needs to get some idea from that bank, you can go to that document and see this particular project idea. And you know, project is based on needs assessment. People need to have a need for that project before you take them. Once there's no need for a project, they're just wasting your time. But I just doing it because to feel good. But the project, the impact of the project is based on our needs as a group. So I think we need to create a committee that will do a need assessment around our community and have a plan for projects so that projects in the future can get ideas of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We can move on now, okay?
Thank you very much. Good morning again, my president. Thank you, my mentor, for that addition, because that was what I wanted to talk about. And then this, that my observation is that we are not communicating effectively and efficiently as a team. And I want to put a caveat to that, to say that whenever we speak to leadership, we are speaking to leadership as an individual. One of our Rotary songs, we Rotary, say that when things are wrong, let us straighten it out. You know, and so I want us to see things that when we are speaking to things, we are speaking to the issues, not to the individual. And that it's about taking responsibility and ownership, not blame. I want to say that again, because I know that in meetings like this, there's a tendency for us to take things personal. So I want to put that on the floor. Again, back to what I was saying about communication. I know that we are not communicating just enough. It's painful for me. I will take it personal that when we are at a meeting, we now hear things like that is not where we are going to. I'm referencing in particular the very last project that we did. I was very, very upset personally about it because when I left the house, I had an itinerary that I was going to follow through with. So it was people that we came for a meeting with the DG, and at the end of that meeting, we were not yet certain about where we were headed until when we were in the bus. I want to say that again, after all that happened, except if an apology was made that I'm unaware of, I feel that as members of this club, we deserved, at the very minimum, an apology for what happened that day. So we're not going to sweep things under the carpet. That's not how leadership is done. We're not going to pretend like it did not happen. We're not going to pretend as if everyone is happy and we're like hugging and kissing and happy-go-lucky. When you do something wrong, yes, sirs and ma'ams, as leaders, co-leaders now, I'm saying we are all leaders. Let us learn to apologize. It's about mutual regard. The second thing I want to talk about back on communication is that we have to also give ourselves a sense of trust. When you give people things to do, trust them as the minimum to be able to pull through on that assignment. It is painful when you micromanage people. It's very painful when you have to micromanage people, especially at this level. For us who have been Rotarians, there's a minimum level of competency and proficiency that I want to assume that we all have. So it's painful to have to micromanage people. Again, my thought, I'm sorry, but I'm taking it personal, you know, so please permit me. The last thing is that on that project, I was pained that I was not even given a bottle of water. I haven't stayed back to attend. And I want to say this, that when we attend projects, we're not telling them because we love you. We do love you, by the way, but it's not because we love you. It's because we love Rotary and what we stand for. We are all about this together. So we all have an investment of time, investment of thought, investment of treasure, investment of talent. And so we might not all be given the same thing, but we're giving something. And that should be recognized and be applauded. I just got to put out that, especially because it references projects. So again, my project chair, you have not apologized to us for what happened on that day. And I think that Oluwa TV deserves an apology. I think the rest of you do not want one, but I definitely want one. So yeah, thank you.
Let's not be mindful of time. Let's be mindful of time.
One now.
Our conclusion is projects in relation to global grants, honestly. Of course, the global grant is not part of it. It's not to shape into under project because there is whether we like to know there is correlation between global grants and projects. We're all here when we do the global grants the last 3 or 4 years, and to then we can see the impact of the money we're able to raise from Rotary Foundation. I think they gave us about $7,000. If I'm not $70,000. Since after that effort, I'm not sure if we have had any serious effort has to do with global grant. And I think we should not be quiet or not making any effort about it. This club, we donate to Rotary Foundations every day. Last year, we donated about $33,000. Thank you. And this year, we're also optimistic that we are going to do the same thing, if not more than. It is important that we make use of that money. We can't just be donating without getting it. Foundation has billions of dollars, and it's important that they are there for us to assess. It's just for us to put our house together. What do we need the money for? Let's say we need to do. So I think it's important that the president-elect, and the president nominee come together and start planning. What project are we looking at with finance by global grant? If I could tell you, we know the whole thing. We built the structure and Rotary Foundation, we use global grant to keep it. So if there is anything of sort, we need to start planning. It doesn't have to happen this year, but there has to be a kind of collaboration between the president-elect, and the president nominee. And if the committee, I don't, in this talk we have. Please, I don't want to feel like it's important that you don't interrupt when we are talking. Please, my president. Let people express themselves, let them share their grievances, and if you have anything to say with that point, then you allow the fellow to finish before you interject. Thank you, my president. So, if the committee in charge of global grant in this talk is not working, I think it's important that we look at the the last global grant was almost equally to my one person. If not for that person, I'm not sure the composition of that committee and put people that are ready to work and deliver for us. Thank you, my president.
Thank you, my president. I don't usually give you permission, but I'll go ahead. I just want to just wondering from what Oluwatiwe. Number one, I'd like to say that let's move on from today. Communication is a two-way street. You speak, you get feedback. And they say in Toastmasters, feedback is the breakfast of champions. So this is a good feedback coming to the leadership. And to Oluwatiwe's point, is not attacking any individual, number one. Number two, I want to insist that moving on today, whatever we're doing as a board, it starts from the board. Not just throwing instruction, but soliciting board members' opinion. So that everybody is carried along. We agreed to this at a board meeting on global ground and finally. Oh, sorry. No. Okay, no, apologies. Part of them. So, but I would like to just suggest that moving on, that our communication really starts, whatever we're doing as a board, that is why we're there. Let it start from the board discussion so that way everyone is carried along. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the contribution. So let's move on to financials. Annual bills, let's say at second point. The treasurer is not there. Okay.
Hi, Rotary President, fellow Rotary guests and friends. I'm not ready to shift blame to any quarter on what happened at the last project. But on behalf of myself, being the head of the committee, I have sending my apologies.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm not sure we can go on financials, but Okay, our regular chair, Adrian Bilokelko, is online and raise her hand. Can we please listen to you, please?
Oh, good morning, my president and fellow Rotarians. Thank you for that recognition. I don't know whether we are already on AOB. Otherwise, maybe I'll wait till then. But I quickly raised my hand when I realized that some points raised under projects, particularly that some of us were offended by certain actions. And I expected that before the president moved on, the right thing would have been done. But I guess that was done immediately by the vice, by apologizing to those that are offended before the thing gets hot. So I want to appreciate him for doing that. And that's the dose for that. But if we get to AOB, I'll be able to talk more on something that has to do with Ryla, just by putting my appreciation to the club. Thank you, my president.
Thank you very much. So,
My president. On financial year.
thank you. Please go ahead.
My president, I'm looking at the financial sector on the student Rotary platform. It's not explicit enough. It's not detailed enough. When you look at it, a good financial should read, to be split into various sub-ed.
Are you not to the committee?
Which committee? Policy committee is different from financial. I'm talking about financial as a member. Let me express myself, please. Okay.
With due respect, sir, you have agreed that you are a member of the committee. Express yourself in the midst of that committee. So you
not as individual.
Express yourself.
No, I'm not expressing myself as a committee member, as an individual member. And you don't want me to do that, no problem.
It's not that. Why would I come here and not want you to do something? It's not like that, sir. What I'm trying to say is that the reason for the committee, are you with me, sir?
I'm listening, sir.
The reason for the committee is that all of us here cannot be dealing with issues of finances.
Okay.
And you are a seasoned chartered accountant.
Okay.
So if any observations are to be raised concerning that, what that committee has done, we expect that you will do that in that committee. Otherwise, if you speak here, you are casting aspersion on the committee that you belong to. Whether at corporate level, it is not done.
No problem.
So,
accept
I believe I will only for the committee. Thank you.
Moses, you are online. Can you speak with regards to updates? Please, let us go. Let's issue. We want to get the committee report first, then you can raise the issue for us.
Good morning, my president. Can you hear me, my president?
Go ahead.
Okay, good morning, my president. Thank you for the opportunity, my president. So I've actually we have the financials as at 31st of July. I've shared that on the board platform before sharing on the Strictly by Rotary this morning. So I will not want to go into details because of time, but I will just highlight a bit on the few items that I feel need clarification. And if there's any question, I will be available to answer those questions. Can I go ahead, my president?
Please go on, please go on.
Okay, so most importantly is the annual due. As of 31st of July, we have total inflow for annual due to be 15.2 million. As of today, we have 51% of members who have actually paid their annual due, so which is which is still very, very below the expectation because the 51% constitute some new members. But as of today, we have 19.3 million that has been paid by members. And I think two body in the last Rotary year, there was a resolution that we should move the fund from the sinking fund and use the fund to purchase treasury bill. If you look at the report that we have there, we have 6.5 million was used to purchase the treasury bills, and we have interest income. If you go to the breakdown of the income, where we have investor income to be 29.9 million, SAE pledges 1.2, we now have interest income to be 543,506. That was paid immediately we bought the treasury bills, and then we have the treasury bills because the bank gave us two different days. So we have for 242 days and 287 days at 14% interest rate. And we go for the lowest, so which we were paid that interest income on that amount. So for this Rotary year, we've added 300,000. So we've added 300,000 to what we have in the sinking fund. So we did not have a resolution at the last board meeting whether we should move the additional interest income that we have to do additional treasury bills. So we still have the money in the sinking fund account. I think I would just want to say this. I think there was a issue with the signatory where the bank changed the signatory from the Council of Past President members who are supposed to be signatory to the account and change it to the club officers' signatory. And I think this is just what we still need to change that. I think we have asked the bank to also make the changes. I'm actually making that comment because so that questions will not arise in regard to that, and so that we can get that clarified. And I think basically, I think that's what is in regard to that. So as at 31st of July, we have SA pledges about 1.2, and as of today, we have about 3.5 million. So when we have the August report, it will have the new changes. So I would just like to stop there. If there's any additional questions in regard to that, I would like to take those questions, my President.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my returning President. Thank you, our Treasurer. If what I heard on your report is correct, which is that we finally had some investments to comment the President and the board, because it's something we've always discussed and never really did, and it was done now. I would say kudos to the board. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any other comments?
I think it's appropriate at this time as the President, fellow Rotarians, to comment on the fallout from minutes of the last meeting concerning the contribution for the Humanity House. Let's know what the status is. The comment is that the money, the 3 million, should be moved to an interest-bearing account. So has that been done? And if not, why? And if action will be taken when? So I think we agree on that, because we'll be losing money. In actual fact, the 3 million may not be able to adjust. So let us know what the action or the status of that money.
For this, do you have an answer for that?
Thank you, my President. My AG, please. We are yet to move the money for the Humanity House. I want to be be sure of what we want to do. Is it for us to move it to a savings bearing account, or we want to use it to utilize it the way we have for the sinking fund? So we just need to clarity in regard to that, so that we can do the needful.
So, as a professional, what would you recommend? Knowing that the purpose is for a project that we haven't identified, the property yet and all of that. So what would you recommend?
My president, I think the bureaucrat raising her hands. Maybe you want to let her ask a question before she's in charge of the Humanity House.
I'm asking for your recommendation. I'm not asking for your decision.
Well, of course, we have. So the treasury bill generates more income for us as a club. So I guess my best recommendation would be for us to go with the treasury bill, at least for now.
So, club members,
I think the response for that, my comment and observation is simply status rate, which is nothing is been talked of. Now, the minimum we can do is either to move it to treasury bills or at least to move it to fixed deposit, because we know it's not money we are going to get to very soon. I think so. Asking for his own.
he has recommended to do treasury bills.
Fine, well and good.
So, do we have a yes on that from now? All right. So,
my president, we also need to ask on the point that the interest income that, normally when we buy treasury bills, they pay the interest income immediately. So what we were asked to do was to use the sinking fund to buy treasury bills. We are now asked whether we should retaining the interest income and use any additional interest to buy the treasury bills. So we need to also pass a resolution on that, my president.
I think we should add that interest to buy more treasury bills, because the idea is to actually, yes. So instead of removing it for something else, just call it back and buy more treasury bills. Thank you very much. You have the comments on that?
Yes, my president, good morning again. We're talking about the funds that are for Humanity House. But I want to say that we should tread softly. It has a particular target. If we put it in treasury fund or any other account that will give interest, I'm not objecting to that. But wherever we are putting that money should be such that once we get land, particularly when anytime soon that we're able to source for land, it should be an account or avenue where we can collect back our money almost immediately. Because the purpose for that money, which is actually put in by individuals, is to target a project for Humanity House. And any time that we have access to having land, we will need that money. So my own suggestion is, wherever we are putting that money, it should not be into any account or treasury that will be giving us some days, like months, before we could access the fund. That is why I'm saying that we should look at that areas critically. Because if by tomorrow we're able to get land and we need to rally around and put more money and source that back from the club, then it should be so easy for us to do, rather than waiting for 2-3 months before we can access the funds. That's my contribution. Thank you, President.
Thank you very much. I believe that even the treasury bills that you can still break it, so that you lose the interest that you can earn. But you don't lose anything beyond that. So I think my treasurer should still go ahead and do the treasury bills. Hopefully,
I think we are under financial.
next please.
Issues I want to put up. One, issue of SA. I want to call the us. Once we make a announcement, make sure you deal within a short time. You're not going to cause confusion with let's say we've been at job as we should. And it is our interest to ensure that the call for payment of others, I can see some people about low in our platform. We should therefore, it's already entrenched in our constitution. That is stipulated time when you're supposed to pay your SA. So it's not something on to drag on. I want us to take note of that. That is one. Two, issue of sinking fund. I read from here in the last meeting that it was also read that the past president managing the sinking fund through reconstructed, and they are not dysfunctional. I don't know how that is true, but invariably, our DGA was in that meeting, and it's one of the operators of that sinking fund. Maybe you should be able to tell us whether they are functioning or not. Thank you.
Last council. No, not council meeting. I'm not looking at your council.
Yes, I was at the meeting and I was at the last council meeting. My president, fellow retailers, at this particular meeting, a lot of issues were raised about the fact that what the bylaw says about the sinking fund and should be managed by the council has not been done for a very long time. And a long discussion went into that. And we all agree that as at that time, no amount of benefit has accrued to the club on the sinking fund. And that is why it was not functional. And the matter was taken to the club assembly, the DGMD reported on it and all that. So the matter of not being functional was because there was no amount of income that has accrued to the club on the sinking fund. That was what was meant by saying it's not functional.
Okay. David Okeowo was online raising his hand. David Okeowo, you still have something to say, please.
Thank you, my president. Thank you for having me. I'm actually not. I'm actually not sure if I'm in a position to say anything at the moment. I'm a new member, but if you permit me, on the issue of putting money in treasury, putting the money in a treasury bill or savings account, I think an interest yielding savings account would have sufficed at the moment, so that if there's any project that needs to be addressed immediately, we can get to the money. Or if, on the other hand, you wanted to put it in treasury bill and we need an urgent fund in the future, in the nearer future, maybe a member who is, members can actually quickly raise funds and give to the club and be given back, be paid back after the project, after the expiry of the treasury bill period. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry, am I really making sense at all?
Yes, you are making sense. You are making sense. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you.
I will respond to what you have said. The priority right now with that fund is to grow it as big and as much as possible. Because the possibility of finding a plot of land that we are going to need to grab immediately is neither here nor there. However, having said that, we have other ways by which we can raise funds, either through members or through other means. If we need to quickly grab something with cash, knowing that the money to pay by the club is there and it's just to wait for it to mature. So your point is taken, but I think if we are able to maximize the amount we can grow the money, I think it is our best bet. The past people wants to speak.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
My President, fellow Rotarians, I think the Rotarian that really spoke well. His concerns is that when you put on interest-free bills, spend the time until it matures and you get your interest out. The last speaker was speaking more on, should we require to touch that money? What should we do? He possibly doesn't know what that money is meant for, because he was talking about members' welfare, as if something happened to anyone, I will need to dip our hands to that money and help. But the bank is going to restrict us. So I would have loved to say that sinking fund isn't meant for club welfare. Isn't meant for any other thing apart from major projects. Like we did when we were building the Jonathan building and we were stuck with funds. And I remember PJ at first had to say, why keeping money that we cannot go use? Let us make use of this fund and finish our project. So what sinking fund addresses are major projects for the club and not members' welfare or other things for projects. It's a different money entirely. So it's not something we thought every now and then. So I think subscribe to the fact that it is safer in freshly picked rice and approach some income. That's the addition I have at this point.
Thank you very much. I think we can move forward. There are some members that have not heard their voice at all. Richard Osas, they are one of them. That phone has not left your hand. I'm very sorry. So, before we move away from financials, I want to use the opportunity to implore all members again. What the treasurer reported showed that they are still doing very poorly with regards to payment of our annual bills, especially the semi-annual bills. It has been made clear that we don't need to pay the full annual bills now. We can pay the semi-annual bills, and that we all are aware that it was going to come up. So I want to implore all members. I want to implore our leaders. All of us are leaders, but we have families, Rotary families. I need you to please speak with the local leader, because if somebody is going through something that does not make them able to pay, a word from you can help. It can help, you know. So please let's show some care, because I'm sure that there's no member of our club that wouldn't want just money down. There must be something that is restraining him or her from being able to pull that money down. I want to believe the best. Okay, so I want to implore to please try and make this a priority. Thank you very much. Which actually you have something to say. Carry your microphone.
Good morning. As regards the annual dues, I think I posted on the group where it said the list of people who are paid, and he omitted my name. I don't know if I'm the only one affected. And he said they are going to get back. I don't know how we managed to omit the name. But from the financial statement I saw today, there's no date as regards the early payment of those names omitted. And why they omitted the names anyway?
That is a very grave omission, and I would personally look into that to ensure that error is corrected. Thank you very much. No other comment in this regard. Let's move on to the Rotary against malaria. Okay, Rotary, additional.
My President, I know that PhD I just had made a comment, but I want us to be emphatic about the essays. Most times, people need their essay for a whole month, and it keeps building up. So the essay is what we use in paying for food. So that is depleting the cost of the club. So why would we eat and not pay for a month? Can we go to Sheraton and eat without paying? It doesn't add up, and we are Rotarians. I know that the essay had been asked not to be so harsh on the platform, the way she put it. That I agree. But we need to talk to ourselves. Is it right that we come in every time we have for breakfast and we don't pay for that amount? We're not talking about other charges, but that 5,000 that we need to use in paying back the food that we have consumed. We need to take a decision because we have people from last Rotary year that are still pending. I will cite one president. He will come in, we will tell him, oh, pay 100,000 for things. He will eat, and he will not need such an amount. We keep carrying over that debt that we have no business carrying over. And why would we even come to meeting if and not have the mind to pay? If you don't have it that day, at least within the week, pay. The NC sent having messages to everybody to remind us. Why would you want your name to be recurring, to be a recurring decimal on essay? Talk to ourselves, it must stop. We should, if you leave it for a month, not be carried over to another month. It's not right, it doesn't speak well of us. And we cite the foreigners every meeting. Let that foreigners apply to everything that we do. Thank you.
Fellow no friends. Mine is on annual dues and new members. If somebody is admitted into this club by January, that is half of the year, how much is the person supposed to pay for registration? I think that is the problem Kenny is having.
She's not having any problem. She's not having any problem. She's not having any problem.
I just want to know. Okay, apart from that.
She's not having any problem.
Okay, apart from that, when somebody comes half of the year, how much is he supposed to pay in this club?
No way.
That Rotary, I mean, but for those who might be in the same category, I was member of, I think I'm still member of membership committee. It's so clear. Anybody coming in pays a full payment that others pays. It's not the application that is different. If you join me of the year, part of the year applies, part of that payment applies to the current year, and part of it is carried over into the next year. And I want to start an example. Rotary and Dr. Richie was one of the first few that paid her annual due this year. Unfortunately, she did not even ask before payment. So after payment, she came to me as a sponsor and said, this is what happened. And I told her it's wrong. You are not supposed to pay full payment. So I took it over with Rotary and she was refunded. So if you are supposed to pay full payment at end, but that is the test of your capability as a Rotarian. But the application of that money, it goes to what different. Part of you will apply to Rotary, depending on when that payment is made, and the remaining one applies to the next payment. Thank you.
Thank you. I heard my sister said that some amount of money was refunded. That was not what was written in the Bible. What the Bible says is that when you pay by this January, you are a new member coming out of the year of Rotary. You have to pay your complete annual fee for your payment. But by June, ending of June, half of the money will be taken to. When the person is not paying, he will pay half of the balance.
It's on debt.
My president, I think it's also for me to get my own area regarding membership, reputation, and all that. I think I've gone into discussion with a few of our members regarding the payments and all that. I remember and during that period, I made the payments, you know, but what was in my mind is this is where I got the information from. That has to do with, okay, this is December. By January, the counting will be, and subsequently, you know, because we're already into the app, but I want the information being a new member. So all for me now to come to understand that the money paid in December has actually by June, July has actually gone. So I was like, that was what I was told. But up to now, I just decided I'll bury the information. Thank you.
Good morning, my president. I've been raising up my hand since. Good morning, my sir. I think I've been raising up my hand since when the time that Rotary Ajani was talking about it. Since you systematically push that to the clear committee, well, I wanted to say something then you didn't allow me, and I believe that you wouldn't want me to fail because I listened to you on that then. Then the one I wanted to speak about is concerning the Humanity Clubhouse. I think the committee needs to do more work on this. Yes, I believe when it was presented to us, they made mention about the donation and also investment. And I've not seen any templates of investment in that regard. Because if you are working on donation alone, I don't think we'll be able to achieve this.
You're right.
And
You're right.
yes, and every president in every Rotary year also to take this as a priority as well. Because since the last Rotary year, the last amount we have was just 7 million. And I believe that if we are looking for a land within this area now, which we believe that that is what we are working towards. We'll be having all the, probably between 50 to 200 million, which is depend on the size and the documentation. So we really need to do a lot. Probably they need to come clean, make it marketable to member, and also so that member also can market it to other friends for the donation so that we can get this on. I believe we have done this in the past. If you can do the humanity house, I mean, neonatal house building, which we are all pointing to today as one of our star projects. So we can also get this done. Then the architect, the design too, should also be sent, I mean, probably posting our Rotary platform once in a while so that it can remind people, I mean, remember. So this is very, very important, please. It's not going to be chairman alone. And I believe that other members this so that is
for something we are close that you are talking about the financial thing. You want to talk about it?
Yes, sir. Thank you, my president. I want to respond to what Dr. said. I think it is high time we need or we finalized that area of Dr. And I'm sorry for lack of better words to you. I'm very disappointed that I have to raise that issue again. This issue, we argued it about maybe 2 or 3 months ago when he raised it up. When he came in, I was the chair membership. And as you know, when he raised it like 3 months ago, and I said, who told you that when you paid in December, you will pay half? Nobody told you. He couldn't lay hands. Maybe he heard from somebody. So he came in December and he paid in December. So when you paid in December, you have covered July to date. And the remaining half year is already done. And I'm shocked that he's raising that matter again. Yeah. So this thing is very, very simple. You came in, you didn't come in when the Rotary year was half. You came in as a full member. I think we should just let this thing to rest. Thinking is, maybe somebody was cajoled to pay or when the case should have.
President, I think this matter is very serious. He has actually answered appropriately. You are a Rotarian during the semi-annual. Even if you pay, as long as your name comes on by 31st of December, you are going to pay for the whole semi-annual. So please, and I understand, P.P. Mado even said that she had intervened in this matter. Matters like that had been taken by leaders and the chairman of the committee. That shouldn't have been not something at all. Please, let's not take note. The only person that can enjoy that is anybody inducted between January and June. Then there may be some carryover. That is that. Now, let me seize the opportunity to address the issue of annual. My expectation is by now, at least every member of this club should have paid 105,000, which is semi-annual. If you have not, semi-annual is 105, I guess. Without no, let's focus on what is important now. So if you have not paid 105,000 as we speak, then you are not doing us any good. You really are not doing us any good. Let's get our priorities right. It is important. The invoice has been sent. Perhaps we have actually even paid. That means we have used other people's money to cater for you. It's not acceptable. That's what I'm saying now. That means we have used other people's money. Perhaps those that paid 1 year. That's not acceptable, please. let us buy now. And I think we should attach timeline to it. Payment should be done latest by middle of September. If you have not made them, it's a minimum of 105. Then you can pursue you for area and for other stuff. Please, let's take note of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Just in the matter. Time of the essence. Time of the essence. Huh? So time of the essence. It's time of the essence. I say it now, time is of the essence. I'll say time is not of the essence. Hello? So, Butura. Okay, Butura.
So, Harry, for those who have paid their planner bills, 206,000 as a loan member, I want to be sure that fluctuation in exchange rate is not going to affect.
They pay money lately. It's almost 2 spots.
Thank you.
Yeah. Butura,
Good morning, my president and fellow Nigerians. Mine is just an appeal. I discovered that when the prospects come in here, they are being interviewed, and once they pay, they are just on their own. They will tell you you have a mentor, and nobody mentors anybody. There is no orientation. I'm talking, please, I'm talking. You can call newly inducted members and ask them, any of their mentors, call them to mentor them. Or when they came in, what were they told about this law? There is nothing. Please, because this is a business meeting, maybe we should try and tell people when it's not just inducting them, paying dues, that is not all. Let them know more about the club. Thank you.
Not yet.
Okay, hello, house. So let's move forward. The next report is supposed to be given by Dr. Bakari, which we're going to give a report on the Rotary Against Malaria project investigative reports. I noticed are online. Is she still online?
No.
One house, please. She's no longer online. So we'll step it down until next opportunity. Let's move forward to AOP. AOP, yes, sir.
My president.
Rotary Triple vote raise his hand first. Is that AOP, sir? Please go ahead.
Mine is about the report, so we can't just move to AOP like that, my president. Come on.
No, President, can I proceed?
We can't just leave it like that. We can't.
Madam President, can I proceed?
Please proceed.
The English will tell us what to listen attentively. This listen, very important. Madam President, hello, Nigeria. I'm a bit worried about this law. Why? Because if we have a club of more than 2 membership, and today, look at the number of people we are having here, we are not doing ourselves any good. I want us to look at our constitutional bylaw.
Madam President, I don't know, because in Article 11 of our bylaw, section 4, are we together? Are we together? Talk about termination, non-attendance. I read. A, attendance percentage. A member must, one, attend or make up at 6% of club regular meeting in each half year. 2, attend at least 30% of this club regular meeting in each half of the year. If a member fails to attend as required, the membership shall subject to termination. You don't get it. Madam President, why are we operating this way? A lot of our people, they don't attend meetings, they have opportunity and they're joining the virtual. They are not there. For a whole year, for 6 months. Why are we doing all this? Are we trying to get this in our constitutional bylaw? It's clear, it's stated clearly.
Thank you very much, sir. It's very, very important what you have noted, and it should be noted. Thank you very much.
Secondly,
Yes, sir.
second, I want to talk about one meeting, please. The board meeting. Any decision taken at the board meeting, the following fellowship, the secretary should engage for. No, minute. To reach to the carry of the house. So if there's any contentious issue, they can take it to club assembly or what do you call it now? The other one, what do you call it? Business meeting. To discuss it, because the assembly is the last habitat for any issue to be discussed. Thirdly, I want to make a proposal, but not I don't mention it. As an elder in this law, I cannot just be looking out when these are not doing well. I should just there's a lot of indiscipline in this system. Hello, a lot of indiscipline in our club. But I'm just saying this now. We are going to take it to the council to discuss. And if it's not in the bylaw, we are going to look for it. A member also will be part of it, a committee will be part of it, that will be, because I was an assistant for 3 years. In the bylaw stated there, if you have done that, discipline to do this, that termination, suspension is there. The way we are getting ourselves in the public, if we are the meeting level, it's not the right thing. This is not as being a law. This is an attack law. This is a sort of intellectuals.
And this is a lot.
This is not. This is not a lot. Please, this is some of intellectual. Even though we have what do you call it? Inclusiveness, whatever. Even if you are a big player, you are a mechanic, you join this law, you must subject yourself to the discipline of this law. That's my observation. I know some of us must have observed that. The way we are doing, the indiscipline is on the high side.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Very, very well noted. So, there will be.
Thank you, my president. Even though we are now on AOB, this appears to be the only opportunity that I will have to mention the issue that you have come up under the last item on the agenda, talking about the investiture report. Like it happens with small things, it happens to big things in this law. And what do I mean by that? An activity that is as small as you want to buy a car for the secretary. I'm just trying to create an analogy. And Rotary A, B, C, D, and E contributed 5,000, while other Rotarians were not part of it. Those Rotarians that contributed that money, something as small as buying a car for the secretary, they deserve to ultimately get a report, whether it is done officially on the floor of the board or even behind the scene, when we are talking about accountability and transparency. 6 persons contributed 5,000. We ended up buying the car at 6,200. We have a surplus of 200. We don't do that in this club as much as necessary. And I keep on saying that when you have a large club, the first thing that you want to sell is transparency and integrity. The reason why I'm emphasizing it is because I have read literatures about managing large Rotary clubs. I gave a talk at Ikeja South yesterday. They are going to become a mega club when they add another 6 members, they are 94. And these are part of the issues that we are talking about. We shouldn't joke in any way with transparency and accountability. We shouldn't. Zero tolerance for it. Something as small as buying a car for safety. Not to now talk about something as big as all of us dressing up, going to that place for installation program, and then people came from outside, monies were donated, some things went very excellently well, some things went wrong, and even we who are members of this club, up till now, we don't have a preliminary report, except if I am not aware. They posted something, but now, the chairman is not here to give a report. No member of our committee is in a position to give a report, and we are just going to skip it. The report that they gave, does it include other things apart from financials? Does it include things like a Rotarian speaking in a way that brought another Rotarian offense? Does it include things like that? It wouldn't. So we are supposed to take these kind of things very seriously. I want to speak personally with the president-elect, because these are things that are not supposed to be tolerated. She's going to sit here and lead everyone in the next Rotary Club. The way we should operate is that nothing is left in abeyance or hanging just because one person is not on ground to give a report. In this club, we make effort to ensure that everybody is in one committee or the other. Like some members, even the ones who are in the diaspora, your committee structure has covered everybody. So what is our problem? And we are not going to skip it and go to AOB. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our DPN. That's noted. So the chairman of the committee had personally requested for those items to be included in the agenda. She personally called to ask for it to be included so that she will be able to address it. So I'm at a loss, and I remember I did see her online. I saw her online, so I'm at a loss why she's not here. That's why I have said I will step it down, because it's important for her to be there. And we're also going to tackle the issues very, very seriously. Especially being that next year she's going to be the one to go through that process again. So it's important that she's part of that process. So based on that, we'll do that for now. Move on to any other AOB matter. Any other AOB matter.
President, I seek to be recognized.
Okay, information first. What can you
Mr. President, I quite agree with this protocol. I think also agree with you that we should step it down for support, But then, the case of fusion, we have a secretary of that committee. The committee has a vice chairman, who are correct. Before the meeting, for this kind of meeting, I think the board of the president will even call the chairman in advance. So the secretary, who is in charge anyway, is to write out and give to the chairman to do that. So in case of fusion, the secretary to the chairman is not there, the secretary of the committee is there, the vice chairman of the committee is there, and he's able to keep us. But later as much as we said, you should step it down. I quite agree.
Thank you very much. Now, please, let us save time. If I go to there's no point. Okay? Go to can you allow please? First question.
My dear President and friend,
I don't want us to tread a very, very dangerous path. A path that can bring down anything that you have builded for 100 years and bring it down. I won't dwell on what has passed, but there was something that happened here, which I think we should either find a basis for it in our bylaw. And if there is no basis for it, we should not allow it to happen again. Just like the issue of the investiture. A chartered accountant, a fellow of ICANN, raised an issue of financial statements. And one way or the other, we use technicalities to shut it down. Financial statement, just because he's a member of their committee. If there are issues in that committee, and the issues were all resolved, and he decided to come to the table, my president, sir, let me finish. My president, and he decided to come to what you can call a conference, where every Nigerian is expected to hear his view. If those issues, even the report, we did not even allow you to mention it. If we have allowed you to mention the basis of what he wants to say, and it's already contained in the report, we can shut it down because it's already a member. Never allowed him even mention what he wanted to raise. Is it a bylaw issue or a management issue that if you are a member of the committee and if a report of that committee is submitted and you wanted to raise an issue, I think it's a financial matter. It is not a matter of just giving the report. It's about money. And it's a common value to all of us. So, if the president does not want us to talk, we only talk about the issue that concerns all of us. All other things can go as we want. Thank you, Mr. President.
My first question, could you just say that if president doesn't want you to talk?
Mr. President, you are my friend. My very good friend.
So I have indicated the way that I don't want somebody to talk.
Point of order, my return point of order. Point of order. My return president, we are learning every day. My past president, GNOS. That's the next not good enough.
Yeah.
That's not good enough at all. The president has not shuttered everybody down. Now we talk to this meeting. We need to be very careful where we are making statements. And for the man you are talking about, DGM make it clear. You must not shut down or never shut it down. If you want to say something on his own, not about that in committee, if he has anything in mind, to say differently. That was he said. So it was not statement. His statement so that is not adequate. We don't use the word, but maybe allow it. No, you should have asked me why I said that. The president is my friend. I said it intentionally. It's not a matter of friend this time. I said it. Maybe you should have asked me why I said it. It's a matter of the law. So no. You can't shut me down. I know what I'm saying.
My president, there are two things I want to talk about. And I remember very well at the last retreat we did. I don't know. No. The previous one. Agbara, thank you very much. I said something similar to what Baba said. I asked the question that what is the essence of a Rotary member? If in my own eyes, I've seen them inducted people and they don't attend meetings. I think that was the first time I spoke at that meeting, and I gave some response, and it's okay. And I raised the same issue again, that if we have this number of people, apart from those who are online, as members, and yet we could barely count the number of people that come to meeting. You know the response I got? the response I got that only thing that is paramount is your annual due. When you pay your annual dues, you don't have to. That's how I interpreted it. When you pay your annual dues, that is paramount and important.
You have a question.
I'm just saying what Baba said as regards we have this number of people, and this is just the number of people that are coming to meeting. Also tomorrow, I still have that as pay your annual due, you come to meeting or you do online, is at your own choice. Please, I would like to speak up. Second one, sir.
I didn't get
Let me say
the point. Are you saying that you are also worried about? Okay, that's clear. That's clear. What is the point?
Okay, so the second
We're
one.
all worried. Just to let you
know. I am worried.
I just feel that we are all worried.
Number two, I remember that as regards the investigator reports, the last meeting I was in, it was said that during the next meeting, they will bring in the reports, and that did not happen. And today again, we're supposed to also talk about it, and then the chair of this investigator committee is not here. I remember also that I saw on the platform a poll to say your suggestion, was the food okay, was the this and that okay, and that was the only thing that was sent to the platform as a report for the investigator, and she's not here. Now you've said that we should set aside, but you're not giving a date to when we're going to talk about it. Is it after this tenure or the next year?
Thank you very much. I can't even noted. Which one are you told? Which one are Ajani, you'll be next.
My Rotarian president, fellow Rotarians in the house. In as much as you had said that we should suspend the investiture report, but I have something to say about that, which is very, very important, and the reason why we showcasing that we have in it is to raise funds. The report said we raised like 20-something million. We have projects. We have spent money. There are people that we ought to have collected money from investiture. There's no follow-up. We don't have anything to do with it.
You're talking about the restaurant.
I'm saying something. You are saying we should suspend it when the chairman comes. It is when things are hot that you can get money. If you suspend it to next year, how are we going to execute the projects that we have? We have a star project that is almost 100 million. Is it going to be raised amongst us? And if we have a list of dignitaries that we're supposed to have from July, this is end of August, we have not followed up with them. How do I know? I know.
Excuse me.
We have followed up with them. It would have been said on the platform of the board meeting. I don't have it, so it has not been followed up with. That's to the best of my knowledge. So if we don't do that, how do we get money to fund our project? We'll wait today. There's somebody that you like that. Who have things they want to do with their money, and if you don't follow them back to back, you don't get it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Madam President, this one I said is, I guess the.
You're next, sir.
Like I say, I guess the secretary is taking note of resolutions of some of the things that are here. But I did not observe any resolution on that SC matter. That is one. You said to step down two aspects, and there is one aspect of it that has to do with Rotary against malaria, of which I think it is District Global Grants something, and I think has limited time for the achievement. And the last one is that I'm afraid of that office where you are sitting. The future people that will be sitting on that seat that represent this sitting now. Because the incoming president is the chairman of the investiture and is not in this assembly. And this is the first
assembling the incoming, sir, the incoming is not in this gathering. And the incoming, pray don't finish this meeting. The future, the seats that sit there, the people that will be sitting there in the future are still afraid. Because country is a continuous process. And when you come to meeting, you have information. When you come to meeting, you know where the lapses are. So by the time you are shown that, or you be able to make necessary correction. Our point of correction, sir, that is claimed in this gathering that was created, which is this investigation reform. It was created only on the platform, and on that platform commitment. There was no breakdown of income, neither there was breakdown of expense. Only one person giving it. Yes. My contribution will be a very format. Number one, clearly I just have talked about indiscipline and the way we carry ourselves in this club. My president, in this club, there are a lot of things as a club, tradition and culture of this club that is gradually fading away. We are eroding those traditions. People come to this club today and it's like an alcohol. People don't come and relax. People are not ready to take position this club. You don't want to come to the club and become we are volunteers. We are born to serve humanity. No, we are not betrayed. It's not because we are workers, but because our service is priceless. That is why we are here, and we will be happy as Rotarians to contribute to the growth of this club. It's a voluntary work. If you are sure that you are not ready for road, if you are a social club, you are come here to serve. And weekend, week out, you will not show up. You will not contribute. If you go for programs, you will not show up. So why are you here? We shouldn't take this kind of like a Jessica asked you, like starting with members. There should be a consequence for that kind of action. One day, once people come to this, take us serious. But the way we carry ourselves, welcome all manner of people into this club, and you know, once they don't contribute to the club, we don't take it. We just look at them and then, please, my president, we should have a strategy that people will come into this club and they will know that what we are here to do is serious movement. We are not here to play, we are here to serve humanity. And if we must serve humanity, we must also put all our heart to it. I might not come to the fellowship next week, but to the vote. Who votes? We are not in the fellowship.
Thank you very much.
It's not good enough for this.
Thank you very much. You see, you know, I find a lot of things that we say, you know, it is quite funny the way we approach matters in this club, because you know when we talk about problems, we are quick to point fingers. But each of us, we all have a role to play. We all have various roles to play. And I remember when I joined this club, within the first week of first two weeks, I was already being engaged by members of this club. Either I can't remember whether they visited me in my house or whether I was invited to their own house or something. But within two weeks, I was already sitting down with members of this club, already learning, gisting talking about the future of the club. And it helped me to begin to identify, okay, what is my own goal? What can I bring to the table? And to start understanding the vision behind the club quickly. So when Rotary People was saying that there is no mentorship, whether she's right or wrong, I felt her pain. I felt her pain. Because if there was no gap, she won't say what she said or how she said it. She didn't mix words. There's no mind, she said it with passion. That should go a long way to remind us, those of us that they met in this club, to remind us that there's something we have not done right. Everybody keeps expecting the next person to go ahead and do that which you can do. That gap that you can fill, everybody keeps expecting the next person to do it. I won't say more than that. Let us just start within ourselves. Let's start within ourselves and let us tell ourselves the truth. Those of us who know more or who know better, how much have we been able to share with those who are new? How much knowledge, how much time, how much experience have we been able to share with those who are new? Because it can be daunting for someone that has just joined in, not to know his left from his right, and left to more or less navigate, the road by him or herself. So I want this opportunity to for us to be our brothers' man. Let us help person. We sit down at our meetings, we don't even know what's happening to the next person beside you. The person beside you. The communication is so on the surface. For some people, it's so on the surface. So, and then, the essence of our program, like you said, somebody mentioned that the First Club Assembly, the president-elect is not here. The president-elect, the president nominee is not here. Worrisome. I know, but still, it is worrisome. Who has more stake in this club assembly than them? You get the point. So, of course, we may have something that they cannot afford not to go and attend to. But it can be when somebody sees that and he says it's worrisome to me, it is worrisome. However, we will continue to do our best. And as we continue to do our best, I want to implore us all as members to continue to
Thank you, my president, and once again, fellow Rotarian. My president, sir, I think we need to have a time frame for the report, like you said. For saying that you are afraid that you might not be able to discuss things when the month or guest. I think if it is after the meeting, probably with the visitors and guests will excuse us. That report is needed. Please, we can't wait for the next club assembly. Yes, that is that. It's just a suggestion. We can't keep on postponing this issue.
That's why I said that you can.
Okay, that is one. The second one, sir. I want to say this because you say we do not talk about the institution so that documented. The last investigation we had, we have a lot of members that did not pay. And some of them even call for the institution. This is very, very bad.
To put the report.
Yes. Yes, I know. But we are aware of this. Every member should be able to contribute to the institution, whether you are available for that or not. It's very, very important.
Exactly.
Please.
Thank you very much. Thank you for noticing this. So on to the last.
So, it is important on the election, I will take a decision in this assembly that maybe the form of motion that the chairman and a committee are giving 7 days my president, please, is accountable to us that people, this information should be coming. We need to begin to see things, take this serious in this club. Please, let's communicate to our officially that we're giving us 7 days. In our next 5 days, present the report on for our next meeting. That is secondly, on the issue of member not attending, I think we have a good system in this law. We have the family system, we have the mentorship system. But in Nigeria, we have federal government, state government, local government. Yeah, so it is the family system and the mentorship system that is not really right. I think we need to go back and address that. Mentors to look out for their mentees. The family system to work. If you are a father, if this is your family member is making 2 or 3 weeks, it is important that you reach out to that family member and because I'm not sir. No, you didn't mention this particular thing. I'm just saying that let's make sure that the family and the mentorship system are working. Thank you for the part of the bylaw that is quoted by a patron. I never even knew that Mark say that you never enough meeting for system in place that address that. If you don't do this, you are giving probably suspensions. Like people know that they don't do this. These are the repercussions. I may just ask that by default, if I don't come to meetings, as long as I pay my 100,000 or 200,000, I remember how they go now. Thank you, my president.
Next time, don't hold the line when you are talking. Now the president back. And the fact that the Rotarian beside did not see it, and I put and sorry, now to prepare the bottle of the Rotarian beside you. Probably the help, my help well. For the total of the move, for the wallet well. So, okay. So you have the last person.
As I your children are here.
Okay, a few things. Haven't done all to stand. Resolutions are nice when they are in pockets, the way we are doing it. But I think that I want to say something I've said before. My very first club assembly as a Rotarian, I mentioned this thing. For those that can remember, I'll mention it again. In our establishment where we work, we all have the sense of what your journey or your prospective journey in that establishment will be, like a client map. I know that in our heads, we think we have it. But when there are no laws, there are no rules, there's no sin. If we do not have that mapped out now, maybe not now, but maybe a committee for it, we will always have these ambiguities and errors and falling through the cracks. I want to say that because we are different personalities, we will not all approach things the same way. Those are, are different, which is great. I have a mentor, I have a father, and I want to say that that system of mentoring and fathership worked for me. Because my mentor would always ask me, are you wearing your pin? Are you coming to the meeting tomorrow? My father would tell me, this is how to read, this is how to do the songs of the post. Those are things that my father and my mentor taught me. So it worked for me. Maybe because I also ask questions a lot. So that kind of like, that synergy works. So I want to say that some things work, some things will not. But when you have a blueprint, not just for projects, but for a client's journey, a Rotarian journey, at induction, you come in 3 times, you have a meeting, you become a Rotarian. In 2 weeks, you have this. In week 3, you have this. By week 6, this happens. By week 8, it's expected to happen. When you have a blueprint, a journey, a map, I think we might not be perfect, but many things will not be falling through the cracks. And I will not feel as if somebody is being blamed or shamed for not doing something. But the truth of the matter is that we all have things that we're thinking about. In the weekend committee, using our committee as an example, we tried to do something like that with Louis and I. We tried to. We didn't achieve everything we thought out, but we tried to. In this committee too, we also had specific reports and hand over things that we did. I even had some Rotarians yab me for that report, the youth committee report that I did. I know that it was maybe in just, you don't have people can present things seriously using joke. But people yab me for that because apparently it's not a culture. We have to create a culture, hand over notes and reports. They must be detailed. What should be in it? It is not how you feel like it. There should be a template for how it is done. So that when it's falling short of that, the person will know. The person will not feel as if we did this long term, we did that long term. And I think that it's about time we did that because we're getting bigger. The problems we have are not going to reduce, yes, sir, they're going to increase because we're getting more. So we have to begin to put processes and structures in place. Thank you, yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Because this gentleman has not spoken all day, I would want to give people opportunity to speak. My old brother, Pedro.
Thank you, my Rotarian President. Rotarian President, fellow Rotarians. I just want to speak for finance and SA. For our food from the SA, is not good enough. I want to suggest that we can get US with 1.0 one of these intercom. Yeah, then immediately you come, rather than wait for transfer. You know, if you are seeing POS specialist in your front and you look at, you want to prepare your car. So that's my own suggestion for that. Then secondly, please, time is of the essence. We cannot be repeating, you know, like what this man says. I want to know. You should make your own submission and let's get moving. Finally, the president, in fact, the IPP, anytime I come and see him, I will say I will not miss the next meeting. This president now, each time I come, this president. So you know, there's something about the president we have, and let us support them, support him. Let's not always be bashing all the time. Yes, we should put them on their toes, but of course, objective. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming to my aid.
President.
Thank you very much. Because at least now they know that I have. At least they know now. They didn't know before. And because somebody has opened up for me like he does know. Who said really? Take you created your story now.
Thank you, my president. Fellow Rotarians, PAG had just spoke about something the other time. I thought we would be able to take it further. And that is the issue of how we manage ourselves in such a way that people will see us as dignified, high profile, being the truth is that the more we are, the more challenges we have with individual differences that may either help us to move forward or go backward. So we cannot afford to shy away from the necessity of creating that disciplinary committee. But I am going to modify it by suggesting that we call it conflict resolution through disciplinary committee. So what that means is that if myself and PP and you have an issue, because we are all human beings and we are letting this here that we can work ourselves. So if he has done something that I don't like, I can approach that committee. Of course, we are not going to be frivolous. It will be because he came out of the toilet and he didn't close it, and I was the one going next. It will be for very, very salient and serious issues. I can approach that committee instead of coming to the meeting and start behaving in a way that others will see and be wondering, is this Rotary? And the other part of it, which is the disciplinary side of it, if the committee calls people and you and say, why did you behave like this to your friend? Don't you know that? And he says, no, that's how I want to behave. Me, don't try me, okay, I'm a no-nonsense person, don't do that. And then we can then prescribe something that will make him know that here we have generally acceptable ways of conducting ourselves. I will suggest, without wasting much of our time, that this assembly should consider making a decision to constitute that committee as quick as possible. And the reason why I said as quick as possible is that you never can tell what's going to happen in the next moment. I would suggest that we have a 5-man committee, 3 of them members of the council, 2 non-past presidents, so that we can constitute them and they can begin to assist us in that direction. And some of us will understand where I'm coming from. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My president, please, I just, that word disciplinary is too weighty for this kind of thing. It would be ethics, something like ethics, not disciplinary. They are not students.
Thank you very much. As you once say, I'm a quick one. So,
That's why I said,
you know, so, you know, I like that forward approach of.
Thank you.
So, the name of the committee is what?
Ethics and conflict committee.
Ethics and conflict.
Committee.
But we have a peace and conflict resolution committee.
Conflict resolution, ethics is your.
Let's use the word management.
Okay. So, can we have recommendations to that committee? Nominations. So the council will nominate 3, and we need 2 volunteers Rotarian.
I'm gonna tell myself, if it is permitted,
Okay, you and what about to leave? What about to So perfect. Okay, so those are the two from mine and the three that will represent the committee. And it will be inaugurated in 19. Rotarian Kofo, you look different than your glasses. I was thinking, who is this place that entered our plant? So, I think it's a good time to adjourn this meeting. There's a hand up from Rotarian Abiodun Shoyeke and Rotarian Buroku Ogun. Let's take Abiodun Shoyeke first because our agent next. Microphone.
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now, my Rotarian
Yes,
president?
ma'am.
I've done that.
You can hear your beautiful voice. Yes.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Go on.
Okay,
Yes,
good
go
morning,
ahead.
my Rotarian president and my fellow Rotarians, good morning. I just have a little suggestion or observation. We have said a lot, so I don't. Hello?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay, I'm just thinking in this direction, sir, on the absenteeism. I noticed that when you come to the meeting, you come to the meeting. When you are not at the meeting, nobody actually look after, maybe ask why you have not been at the meeting, why we have not seen you. So I don't know if this committee is being subjected to that assignment too, or we need to look at that direction. If we don't see ourselves, we are our brothers' keepers. Even though it's a humanitarian service, nobody is forcing anybody to be at the meeting or not, you know, it's just voluntary services. But nevertheless, if we don't see ourselves, somebody did not come to the meeting 1, 2, 3 times, I think we need to look after each other as well. I think we need to ask why this person have not been at the meeting. Maybe we add this to this committee assignment, or my president, I just want us to look at that direction as well. Not that when you come to the meeting, you are there. When you are not there, nobody asks after you. Nobody know whether you are existing. Nobody even know what you are going through. So that's just my suggestion. Thank you so much. It's actually been a very fruitful meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your observation. You see, there's still a Rotary information that we as members need to know. You know, hello. When we are not going to be available for meetings, you know that it is a responsibility of us as members to inform the club, either through the secretary or through the president or through the club admin, that you will not be attending that meeting. And if you are present maybe out of the country or something, you are supposed to be able to collect makeup cards to show that you are actually at a Rotary meeting in a different location that will suffice for that week, that will be counted as your attendance for that week. So these are some things that we need to learn as Rotarians. Yes, it's important to be able to find out that why did this person come, why did that person come, but that doesn't remove our own responsibility from actually being able to, to inform the club officially. So this thing goes both ways, and we just need to learn and understand each other, okay, and try to do better. That's all. Thank you. So on that note, sorry, okay, I can't forget you.
Thank you very much, my president. Thank you very much. Actually been a very fruitful meeting. Well, my own is just to say that, well, there's no other better time than this business meeting to say that when some of us are picked through the districts, I wouldn't know the criteria where they pick us, but I know that a lot of us are picked at the district level, serving beyond our clubs to do one thing or the other. And when we do that, it is just good that we come back home to give stewardship, because it's the club that first produces us before the district does. So on that note, I want to say a very big thank you to the club, the president, and all members of Rotary Club for supporting me at the just concluded RILA. And I will say that next Friday, by the grace of God, we will celebrate more by appreciating every one of us that have been part of RILA. Thank you. I thank the club, and I thank all members and the president particularly for all you did to make RILA a successful one. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for representing our club at the district level and for doing such a great job. God bless you. So on that note, for those of us that are left, we would present the birthday meetings for the month of August, and I call on we can show. Okay, so before we do that, let's move the motion to adjourn officially. This meeting, Rachel moves that motion. Who supports the motion? Please talk. Oh, you want to adjourn, right? Yes. Say it officially. Yes, go ahead.
I, Rotarian, Dr. Raquel, move that this club assembly be adjourned to the next time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, yes.
I, Rotarian, Fellowship Captain, hereby second the motion as moved by Fabio. Dr. Raquel to adjourn the meeting for the next one.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, on that note, the meeting hereby closed at 11:35 a.m. For a wonderful first club assembly. Thank you for the contributions, lessons learned, and I look forward to the next one in the 3 months' time. God bless you all. So I hand over to the handsome Rotarian show to so he's representing family of Rotary to handle this area. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my president. As our culture every month, we have some beautiful and handsome Rotarians that are born in the month of August, and we cannot just but to celebrate them within no matter of time as we spend. And I'd like to celebrate all Rotarians that are celebrating their birthday in the month of August. Please, let's come out. Rotarian show private. Rotarian Tony Adenekon.
Yes, clap for them.
Rotarian Kenigo. Rotarian Tulayomi. Please. We are representing the other Rotarians in absentia. There are some of them online. Rotarian Moses, Bruno Salvo, Rotarian Getao, Rotarian Kola Additional, Rotarian Evelyn. Rotarian Evelyn, Rotarian Ines, Rotarian John, Lutheran, Aramide, we are here to celebrate our people. Please let's stand on our feet and let's sing the birthday song to them, for them. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, thank you very much. So I would invite our PGN and our IPP. I won't do this alone. These are very, very important Rotarians, also representing many other very, very important members of our club. So I will invite first and foremost, there are 2 men and 2 women. I'm going by IPP and my PGN. My PGN would rather do. Okay, my teacher, they will do one man, one woman, then they cover me. So, let's go. I will start with my IPP. My IPP, please. You all the honors.
Thank you, my Rotarian president, for this privilege and honor to present this iconic gift to celebrants of our August month here. What I need to do, I'm giving my. Let me start with one woman. Ladies first. So I'd like to present this iconic, personalized, branded Unite for Food wallet on behalf of my Rotarian president on your August day. In the same manner, water. Water. Wow. H2O. On behalf of my Rotarian president, I present to you this iconic branded wallet as a gift from the Rotary Club for Money Morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much for my IPP for the job, very well done. Now, we'll hand over to our own PGN. I'm sure you will also want to start accordingly.
It's my pleasure to, on behalf of the president and all of us, show you this morning that we love you so much and are especially celebrating you on this occasion of about as you present to this topic. Show in the same manner, this is a token of our love to you. We wish you very, very happy returns. We believe that you may accept it just as it is. If you have what more than this, for this is not to symbolize our love for you.
On that note, let me now invite our past president to join the DGN and the IPP as we take a picture, group picture. Oh, sorry, Hazard, I'm sorry, you are supposed to join us now. Can you hold it? You can hold it. Thank you very much. So, this committee can let everybody get it. Congrats, everybody. On that, have you do the, Omoliboli anthem and the national anthem? Have we followed for the top anthem after say of Omoliboli? Omoliboli. National anthem, first answer.